Okay, so this being a 45 in a short little chunky package, I wanted to just see how controllable it is in rapid fire, you know. Even though I don't agree with the whole, like, we need to shoot the fastest bill drills to be tactically proficient. I do just like to see what it does up close and tight. So I'm gonna just do a couple of those. Okay, that was me not coming off of the trigger. Let's just do some fast ones here. I'll dump this 10 rounder. Okay, we're a little injured. We got some stuff going on, so we're just gonna do a very quick down and dirty tabletop introduction of this gun. This is the HK45C. This is the smaller version of the HK45, which is a 5-inch barreled gun that has a much different grip on it. This gun is a 4-inch variant, and we've only got 8 rounds in here. We do have a 10-round upgrade that you can put into it, colloquially called the elephant's foot for obvious reasons. And I know hkparts.net does a couple of, 12 or 13 rounders, but they just start to get ridiculous once you get up into there. So a little bit of the history. There was, in the early 2000s, the U.S. military joint combat pistol program, where basically they were trying to find a 45 caliber pistol that could kind of do all of the things that they wanted. It needed to be super reliable, it needed to be accurate, it needed to be shot if it just came out of the water, over the beach, that type of stuff. A lot of 1911s went into this program, and they didn't do very well. And this was sort of a collaboration between HK and then also with the legendary Larry Vickers and Ken Hackathorn. So you can look those dudes up. And really, the history of this gun's really cool, and there's a lot of YouTubers that do a much better job of explaining it than me. So I'll sort of leave that to them and your own research. Let's real quick talk about what I loved about the gun, and then we'll go over some of the drawbacks, which there's a good amount. What did I love? I do love the sights on the gun. It's not cut for optics, but there I am already jumping into the negatives. But you've got a luminescent and a tritium sight on the front, so you can actually, there's a little luminescent ring that if you shine light on it, that will glow. And then it also has tritium in there, and then just a blacked out rear with a hook on it that will help you with one-handed manipulations, which I'm currently dealing with now. The gun's stupid accurate, very accurate. If you're using the right rounds. I had some rounds in here that shot a little bit to the right, I believe. But overall, this gun is super accurate, much more accurate than I am. It is 45. I love 45 chamberings. You do have a Picatinny rail on there, and I'll get to that in a minute. And we're ambidextrous pretty much all the way except for the safety that I've got on here. I like the version 1s. That's technically what this is. There's a couple other versions. There is the decocker version, and then there is an LEM version, which I don't really like the LEM stuff, and I know some people live and die by those, but I just can't do it. Now, what's cool about the version 1? You can carry this cocked and locked like I do, like a 1911, where all I got to do is swipe that off, and then you've got a really nice trigger. You can also carry this decocked with the safety off, so you've kind of got a heavy double action that is your safety, more or less. And then if you want to be really careful, you can rack around in the chamber, drop the hammer, put the safety on, and now you've got, a very safe gun. You need to defeat this safety and go through your double action trigger pull. Some of the drawbacks. The grip on this gun is ridiculous. Like, they say you can change the back strap, and you can, but it does almost nothing. And then the texture on the grip is useless. There, I said it. It's pretty useless. So you can see I've got the grip tape on there from Talon, which I absolutely recommend if you're going to shoot this gun with any sort of fast tempo, right? If you're really going to be combat shooting this gun, I would recommend that. Another drawback, we're all so spoiled these days with all of the different options that pistols come with, but this one is not cut for optics. Like I said, the grip is pretty bad. And yes, it does have a rail on it, but there's only a couple of lights that will fit on it due to the size of this trigger guard and the fact that you've only got a couple of, Picatinny options on there. Also, we're dealing with lower capacity, so 8 to 10. You could go with a 12 round capacity like we have in here, but this is a much different animal and a much bigger gun. So you've also got the FN 45s, which are crazy too, and those are huge. But for the most part, you're usually dealing with a little bit lower capacity in a gun this size, okay? Now, what else is a potential drawback? I mean, really, that's about it. I really like this gun. Like I said earlier, it's very accurate. It is extra reliable. You're never gonna have to really worry about that part. And, it's not really pretending to be anything it's not. It's just gonna be these things and it's gonna work. So that's kind of what I was going for. Recoil impulse was not that bad. I mean, you just gotta know what you're getting into. This is a compact, full house 45 ACP gun, so it's not gonna shoot like a comped gun. It's not gonna shoot like a 9mm. And you gotta just work your way through it and figure out the tempo that really works for you. But I'll tell you, the trigger is good enough for the tempo that I need to shoot this gun for me not to really worry about, the trigger being one way or the other. Like, the trigger worked fine for me for what we were dealing with. Take a look at the shooting footage. It's, like I said, it's very good. You kind of get away with a lot. You shooting this gun. And let me know if you have any questions. Still pretty new to this gun, so we're just going to do we're at about 12 yards or so. Just some kind of getting used to each other sort of stuff here. See how the trigger feels, see how the recoil feels. Some of those are a little low. It's probably me. Okay. Those are all in. A little bit right. That's okay. Interesting. Riding the slide on that. You guys got to see me jerk the hell out of that, which is why I probably had some low ones. Perfect. Okay, on that last run, I was doing some very cheap Remington kind of open tip ammo. And I'm sure it was me, but this is just some regular, full FMJ going on. I just want to see if maybe that had anything to do with my last groups, which I'm sure it didn't. Okay, we're all in. Okay, so about the same cadence, but you can see all of those rounds sort of shifted over a little bit left. So maybe there's something to those Remingtons being a little bit different, but probably mostly me. We're just having fun now. Terrible reload. The walk and shoot. This is where I really get to know what's going on with my gun, because I'll be doing draws, I'll be doing reloads, and I'll be moving. So stand by. all my mags. Got one line breaker here, and this guy's a touch high, but that just depends on what targets you're shooting.